Hello and welcome back. We are continuing on with Irish Freedom, designed by David Kershaw, published by White Dog Games. In our last game, we managed to successfully prosecute the War of Independence, and so now we are moving on to the Irish Civil War. So I'm going to quickly go through setup. There's a couple of really simple parts of setup, which is you switch to the Civil War deck and you switch to this Republican morale. Basically, this is a game that pits the Republican forces, which are the green Irish units, against the Free State Irish units, which are the blue Irish units. So, in order to set up for this, first of all, we remove British units in all regions except for Ulster. So essentially, these units are all going to get removed. There. See unit. The British are kind of like just a neutral malevolent force in this version. In Ulster, remove any army, RIC, or TAN counters. So there are none of those. There's basically army, RIC, or TAN counters. Place an RIC in the 5 townland and an army in the city. Okay, so I place an army in the city. And an RIC, I think it's in the 5 townland, right? And an RIC, oops. Now we place all blue guerrillas with blue regulars. That's the only one on the board. Okay. Replace all green guerrillas with flying columns. So I'm going to do this way this turn, because last time I pulled them off the board and then I was like, wait, where did they come from? So we'll do it this way this turn, so I don't forget where they came from. So those guerrillas go back. Okay. Replace all Irish mobs with a guerrilla counter of the same color. I don't believe I have any mobs on the board. Oh, I actually need one more flying column up here. Flying column. Oops, that's a guerrilla. Flying column up there. I don't have any Irish mobs on the board. Roll for a random Irish guerrilla in each region except Ulster. First, select a random area within the region. Then roll another d6. If it's greater than the region number, place a blue guerrilla in the area. Otherwise, place a green guerrilla. So I'm rolling for everything except Ulster. So let's roll for the Midlands first. I need high die rolls. Oh my god, that's a green guerrilla, isn't it? It's got to be greater than... Yep. That was not good. That's the area where I needed it. All right, Dublin. Yeah, I could have used that else. I could have used that roll. All right, could use that roll here in the west. All right, that's okay. I'll take that. I will absolutely take that. Now we get into areas where we're probably going to see green units. Cork. Oh, Cork, baby. Gets me a gorilla. And then Kerry. I can't roll higher than a 6, so this is definitely a green gorilla in Kerry. Okay. That's that part of setup. Place a green gorilla unit in Area 6 of the Dublin region. Oh, dear. There's going to be combat there. Place a blue regular in the 3-4 area of Dublin. Okay. Place a blue artillery counter on another blue counter of your choice in the Dublin area. You get artillery and armored cars in this game, in this sort of side of the game. All right. Place a blue armored car on another blue counter in any area of any region except Ulster. Armored car. So I could place it here, but there's a chance I could lose him. I think I'm going to place the armored car here. I'll place it in the west. Okay. Blue armored car. If there are any areas with both blue and green Irish units, perform an immediate combat between them, with blue as the attackers. So I think I only have one region like that, which is here. So this is blue as the attacker. So this is an even die roll. Pretty sure I want to roll high here. That should be good. 5. One defender eliminated. Okay. Okay. So the defender's eliminated, and I am allowed to upgrade my guerrilla because I eliminated a unit to a blue unit, to a regular. All right, so that is pretty good. We're getting close to the end. If there are any areas in Ulster with either blue or green Irish units and British units, perform an immediate combat. That is not the case. Place the turn marker on turn 1. Okay. Remove the British morale counter and place the Republican morale counter. Have already done that. Set the Republican morale points as follows. 1 point for each region with green Irish units. So 1, 2, 3, 4 with green Irish units. 1 point if the above region has no blue, Irish, or British units. So 1, 2. 1 point per city area that does not contain blue, Irish, or British units. So 1 city. Okay, so the Republican morale starts at 7. That seems like it can't be that bad. Okay, so the turn sequence is largely the same. Probably the biggest difference is that when it's my turn as the Free State, I get 3 actions. But other than that, it is pretty much the same. We skip those 2 steps. So now we've got the Republican upgrade and recruitment phase. But this is for the Republicans, not the British. But we still roll to pick an area. So Kerry, that's probably a good one for them. Upgrade a mob to a guerrilla. There are no mobs. Upgrade a guerrilla to a flying column. There is a guerrilla. So we will turn that guerrilla into a flying column. And then the Republican move phase. Again, we roll a d6 to select a region. 5. So we're selecting Cork. So the most powerful unit in the region, which is this flying column, and they're going to move to attack the weakest unit in the region, which is my guerrillas. So they move there. And so this flying column is going to be attacking me at +1. Well, that is going to result in my guerrilla being unceremoniously eliminated. So that's going to help their morale. Okay, a little background noise of dog drinking water for you there to go along with Irish freedom. All right, so now it's my turn. So I am able to recruit. So I can place a regular or armored car or artillery in either Dublin city area. I don't think I need to do that. Okay, let me just double check all these. I can move a guerrilla to any other area in the same region. That makes sense. As if I'm a regular, I can move to any other area in the same region or to an area in a region connected by a road, or move from any port area to any other port area. Oh, that's new. Port areas. What's a port area? What are my port areas? So this is a port. This is a port. Gotta believe that's a port. Port. Somewhere up here, there's a port. There's a port. Okay. Port to port. Okay, and it says a regular may bring one armored car or artillery with it. So I think that there is one very obvious thing for me to do here, which is I am going to move this British regular, and I'm going to go after this. Flying columns are not good in cities. So I'm going to move that group to there. And then, not dissimilarly, I'm going to move this regular and this artillery unit to here. So that is 2. And then I think I'm going to place a regular, I'll put him in the port so that he has the ability to just move from port to port if I choose that. All right, so I have 2 combats going on. So we're in township. So I have 3, he has 2, so this is a +1. So that's a 4. I think that's going to force him to retreat. All defenders retreat. Okay, he's retreating straight back into this space. So now it's him as the attacker -1. That's a 3. All the attackers retreat, so he is going to retreat. 4. So he's going to retreat there, which is good. That will make those guerrillas a little bit easier to go after. And then hopefully we can get rid of this flying column. So we're the attacker. We have +2. 4. That's not what I was looking for there. All defenders retreat. Okay. He's just going to retreat into the same area. So now he's the attacker, but it's -2. 3. I think that's attacker's retreat. There's a lot of similarity in these 2 combats. Now where is he going to go to? He's going to go where he's strongest, which is the Boglands. Okay, but that's still going to be useful for getting me a victory point, denying him some victory points. So we move the turn to 2. Then we do random events. Shuffle that or not. Border campaign. In Northern Ireland, Irish units were anti-treaty, but remained largely neutral in the Civil War. Fighting took place with the British over border towns and villages. Place a green Irish guerrilla in a random area in Ulster. Well. Okay. Where are you going to go? 1 or a 2? All right, that's actually not that bad. So basically, this guerrilla is going to fight the Ulster Volunteer Force. So the guerrilla is the attacker, and it's an even die roll. So that is going to cause the UVF to retreat. And the UVF will retreat to there. It's okay, we can attack him. Well, I say we. That's not actually me anymore. Okay. So that is the random phase. So now we do Republican morale again. +1 region, 1 per region with a Republican unit. Oh, that's not good. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 areas with a Republican unit in it. I see why I didn't want that to happen. +1 for each above region with no non-Republican units in it. 1 second. Okay, I was just confirming that British units count for that. So when it says non-Republican, it means it. So there's only 1 area that doesn't have any non-Republican units in it. And then 1 per city, either Republican occupied or unoccupied. So none of the cities fit that criteria. So we're at a 6, so we can't win this turn. So now we do the Republican upgrade phase. So where are the Republicans going to upgrade? They're going to upgrade in the Midlands. So in the Midlands, they're going to upgrade a guerrilla to a flying column. All right. That is still attackable there. So now we have the movement. 2. So the oh no, I didn't want that. That's not good. So the flying column, we picked the Midlands, so the flying column moves into the Boglands, which is not where I wanted him to be. I was hoping he would stay here and I'd get to attack him here, but now he's got an even die roll against my units. Oh, okay, that's good. 2 attackers eliminated, so that flying column is eliminated. And none of these units have upgrade capacity, so nothing happens. All right, that was good. So now, it is my turn. Let's see what I want to do. Well, let me just double check something here real quick. That's a bit dangerous. I was thinking about moving up here and attacking these guerrillas, but that's a bit dangerous because the British could come after me. So I think I don't want to do that. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these 2 units. Oh, yeah, I don't really want to attack that guy there, do I? Boy, oh boy. Okay, this is a little... Okay. His units are actually in fairly good spaces right now, which is a little bit annoying. But so I think I am going to... It doesn't really matter if I abandon the Midlands, I don't think. So I'm going to move those 2 units to there. I'm going to move this guerrilla to there as well. And then I'm going to... I don't know why. Well, I'm going to port move this guy over here. Actually, no, I'm going to recruit... I'm going to recruit an armored car. Okay, so we have 1 combat. So we are in Boglands, but we will have a +2 to this die roll. All right, so this flying column is eliminated. And that allows me to upgrade my guerrilla to a regular. And gets him out of yet another region. Okay, I feel like I'm on top of this now. Okay. That is everything from me. So the game turn advances 1 more. Now we check for Republican... No, we do a random event first. I always want to check Republican morale right there, but no. The Big House. Some anti-treaty Republicans resorted to attacks on local Protestants in the Big House. It is estimated that the Protestant population was reduced by 1/4 during the war. Jeez. Roll for a random region other than Ulster. Remove the weakest green unit from play in that region. Randomly decide if more than 1. Okay, so as long as we don't get Ulster. So we've got the Midlands, but there's nobody there. So nothing happens. So now we can actually check for +1 per region. So he's got 3 regions with a Republican unit in it. +1 for each region with no non-Republican units in it. Not each region, each of those regions. So in other words, this has no non-Republican units, but it also doesn't have a Republican unit. So that's only +1. And then 1 per city, either Republican occupied or unoccupied. So that's none. So right now we're rolling for a treaty 5 or 6 gets me a treaty. No treaty. So we continue with the upgrade phase. So they are Ulster again. Ooh, man, they are not joking about Ulster, are they? So they should be able to upgrade this gorilla to a flying column, right? Should get them. They should go attack that UVF force, man. Go attack that UVF force. Not sure how that helps me, but it... So the Midlands, they picked the Midlands, but there's nothing there, so they're not going to do anything. That's a little unfortunate for them, fortunate for me. All right, so I could either keep going until I roll a 5 or a 6, but I'm thinking that right now the thing to do is get myself over here, attack this flying column. That will reduce his morale by 1 more. That will increase my odds. After that, I can turn my attention to Cork. Boy, you know, you really actually do have to, like, move the Republican morale is a little more tenacious than the British morale. It's because they don't care if they get units eliminated, I think. Okay, so we're going to send these regulars with this armored car. And we'll send these regulars as well. And then that's 2 moves. And then we'll build a regular in there. So now we have combat. So we're in a green space. So we have 6. He has 2. So this is... I'm attacking him +4. That's a 6. So that's a flying column. Comes off the board. Now, if the British activate in Ulster, that could be ugly for me. But let's hope that we can get away without that happening. Okay. So we advance the game turn yet again. It's interesting. This game is subtly different than the other game in terms of what you're attempting to do, which is kind of nice. I like that overall. Okay, so now we do our random event. The Mutineer. The anti-treaty Republicans were short of heavy weapons, which would severely hamper them. The Mutineer was the name of one of their few armored cars. Roll to select a random region with a green unit present. Place a green armored car on the strongest green unit in the region. Okay. So it says roll to select a random region with a green unit present. So what that means is I'm really only selecting between those 2 regions. So basically, Kerry is even, Cork is odd. So the strongest unit, it doesn't really... Oh, well, this is the strongest unit because he's sitting in a bog. So place an armored car with that flying column there. Now we do movement. Do not roll a 3. So Kerry. So the strongest unit here is going to move to attack the weakest of my units. This isn't really a particularly good result for him. So he's got basically 2 options. This guy can move and attack here. Or one of these guys can move and attack here. You don't... I guess, actually, let's see. If we went here to here, we would be at -1. This would be at -2. So let's have this flying column is going to move here and take on this set of regulars. This is not as good as I would hope. This is only a -1. But a good die roll certainly helps there. So 1 attacker eliminated, all others retreat. So if he had actually managed to eliminate my unit, that could have been a little bit ugly. Although he would have been somewhat easy to dislodge, admittedly. Okay. So then it is my turn. So in terms of dislodging his units, so let's do first things first. This regular is going to move into that area. And this group is going to move back to Dublin so that we don't just get slaughtered by the British. Now the interesting question is, think what we're going to do is we're going to have this regular and this armored car move here. Actually, scratch that. Oh, they couldn't have done that anyway. Oh, I guess they could have. They can move twice. Scratch that. I'm going to try and win this. I'm going to take a risk with those guys and try and win this. So we are going to move... This is 2 movement points. We move all those guys to there. And then what we will do is we will actually get this guy. We'll get these guys out of Ulster. So we are going to attack this flying column down here. So we have 5 and he has 2. So we are rolling here. This is +3 to this roll. Don't need pluses if you just roll 6s. So that eliminates that unit. Okay. Now we advance the turn. Every turn that ticks by, I lose victory points. Emmett Dalton. Dalton devised the successful seaborne landing strategy that outflanked the Republicans, personally leading the landing that captured Cork. This turn, only you may make a single naval landing at any area. This turn only, you may make a single naval landing at any area in any region with no port symbol, apart from Ulster in the Midlands. Okay. So we'll see if that matters, but I'm hoping it doesn't matter if I'm honest. So, per region with a Republican unit in it. There are only 2 regions with Republican units in it. Of those regions, absolutely none of them are empty of my units. And 1 per city that is either occupied, so and there are no cities. So their morale is down to a 2. So here we go. Let's force them to the table. And we force them to the table. All right. So let's check the treaty, victory or defeat. With the Republican surrender, you gain victory points as total. At turn 5, we gain 1 victory point. 4 or less, poor victory. The crying game. Well. Well, so that's an interesting. So what's interesting, okay. So I think let's talk about the game for a second as we close up here. What's interesting is that the game has an inevitability about it. In both cases, whether we are talking about the War of Independence or the Civil War, it feels to me like you are eventually going to kind of like force a treaty. The thing is it's about timing. It's about doing it quickly. So I probably played this game very conservatively, and that's probably a mistake because time ticked away. Like if I want to get anything other than a poor victory, I need to get 5 or 6 victory points. Oh, actually, sorry. I get +1 victory point per region containing only blue units. So I get... I should have moved somebody into the Midlands in anticipation of that. So I got 4 or less. So had I known that, I probably could have, rather than building unit or moving these units, I could have moved these units into here. Let's even pretend I did that. Because had I really been paying attention, I would have done that instead of moving them there. So we got an average victory. So anyway, the point of this game isn't really about like just finding a way to force a treaty. The point of this game, it seems to me, is doing it quickly and finding ways to do it quickly, which I did not particularly do in this game, based on the fact that I got 1 victory point from each of the 2 halves of the game. So it's obviously a game with a lot of luck elements and die rolling. The solo opponent isn't particularly smart. It's very random. That randomness can sometimes disrupt your plans, but it's not like it's doing anything with any kind of intelligence behind it. But it's fun. I mean, I do really kind of like the game. It's quick, plays really quick. The mechanics are incredibly simple. It's a a part of history I know virtually nothing about, that I want to learn a little bit more about now. And frankly, it does create a certain amount of decision space for you. It's not like you're just rolling and the game is playing itself. You're definitely making decisions, and I think that there are optimal decisions, and I think that there's definitely a way to get better and better at this game. So with that, we will close up our playthrough of Irish Freedom. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you are enjoying the channel. One, I'd love to know, would you love to see me play this again and try it again and see if I can do better than my average victory here? Let me know in the comments if you want me to do that. Leave any kind of comments, games you want to see come to the table, improvements we can make. That would be great. But Irish Freedom, interesting little solo game from White Dog Games. If you're interested, you can check it out on their website. And we will see you next time on Agility Snips Gaming Table.